Now with the senior management team of our divisions. We start with Gerald Pilotto, responsible for the MMO division Continental Europe.
Yes, thank you very much, Bettina. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to present our division Maintenance, Modification and Operation Continental Europe. My name is Gerald Pilotto. I am 25 years in the business, in the service business. I started with engineering, with project, with turnaround project that come later on. It's very important for our division. Then I was site manager in different countries. And since 2014, I am responsible with my colleague Matti Jäckel for the entire division. What is the MMO Continental Europe? We are the biggest division within Bilfinger with 37% revenue shares, that's around 1.5 billion euro, and we perform these services with 15,000 people in 11 countries. Our main countries are in the Nordics, that is Norway, Sweden and Finland. Of course, the DACH region or gas region, Germany, Austria and Switzerland, and we are very strong in Poland, in Czech Republic and Slovakia. Our industry split is 60% in chemical and petrochemical industry. I come later on the market of this industry, but that's a little bit driven by the history of all of our companies and our sites. Most of them was created by outsourcing or was bought by Bilfinger. How we perform our business? We have 3 different contract types. 50% of our business is reimbursable, hourly rates, 25% is unit rates, and then we have lump sum. This lump sum, what I talk about, is value performance contract. What does it mean? If you consider the name value performance, and this says everything, we create value for the customer and also, I hope so, and I'm sure, also for our bottom line. And we increase the performance for our customers. What is the difference to lump sum contracts in the project? These are long-term contracts, most of them more than 5 years, is with a lower risk, with a very clear described scope, and we have also the management there. So we have a great influence into this contract together with the customer. On the customer side, usually there is only a gatekeeper. So these contracts create also a big contribution to our division. One of the most important points for the MMO business is the retention rate of our contracts. We have very long contracts, but the longest contract we have in US with Thierry is more than 70 years old, but also our contracts are more than 10, 15, 20 years. So we are on site with our customer exclusively for a very, very long time, and 90% of our contracts we can prolong. If we look a little bit deeper in our market, then we can see an uplift in the chemical industry. 60% of our services is in the chemical industry, and you saw it also in Tom's slides. There is big opportunities. Germany is very important, is the #1 in Europe, and is on the 4th place in the world in the chemical and petrochemical pharmaceutical industry. For us, it is also very important the changes in the market. You know very well the lot of mergers in the market and split and spin-offs in the chemical industry. That creates new opportunity for us. We have some examples. The former Bayer Group was one group with an internal technical service provider. They split up the company, and now the new company look for a proper service provider. And in this year, we got with one of this company a new contract and a long-lasting contract. If we look into the business, the OpEx business is stable, predictive, and reliable in the past and also in the future. If we come to investments, to CapEx projects, we see on the brownfield side an increase of requests and demand in the market. And Dom mentioned it before, we put some companies from other operations into our division. This is the FAM from Austria, and this is a typical, the second M, I say always, modification company, which is now included in our division. And with this company, we can make maintenance, modifications, and we do also operations, but more in the energy industry. One example is Fortum was mentioned before. We make operation with Fortum in Sweden on 120 power plants. If we go a little bit deeper in the market, then we see we are the #1 in Europe. In Nordic, we are in the Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. We are on all big industrial sites, and we are there the main contractor, the main supplier for our customers. We are clear the #1 in Germany, with 1 billion revenue. That is not only the entire division, that is also a little bit from ENT, but we are 30% ahead of the second one. How we reach this position? One of our main driver is the Bilfinger maintenance concept. What is Bilfinger maintenance concept? It was mentioned sometimes. And Bilfinger maintenance concept is a holistic, standardized approach where we can deliver maintenance, first-class maintenance for our customer. It is assigned complementary or it is assigned in modules. So the customer, we can make customer, or we can fulfill the customer demand what the customer wants to have. It starts with strategy and come to cooperation models. On top of this, we have the BCAP. It was mentioned before. A big part of BCAP has also influence in BMC and the other way around. And BCAP is the digitalization of the BMC. So in BMC, we started on paper, on the usual work, and now we integrate it part by part into the BCAP. What is the output of our BMC? It is called BMA. Here on the table left, you see the industries, and here you see KPIs, key performance indicators. They are typical for the industry. And here, this is the evaluation with this BMA, Bilfinger Maintenance Analysis, that gives us from every industry, from each customer, an overview on which stage is his maintenance. And you see, we have a wide spread from industry 1 to the last industry. So we're talking about this as in the spider diagram, 71%, and this is 35%, different in industry. But therefore, we can compare in the industry and industries together. And if you look into our 6 verticals are here on this level 1 to 9. This own benchmark we can also check across, for example, Solomon study in refinery or also Thomson study in polyolefin, and we see we are quite accurate with our numbers. If we look at the maintenance, then in the maintenance business we have one big services, and this is called turnaround services. Turnaround services means they shut down, plant shut down an industrial plant. So it's not the commercial turnaround, it is a technical turnaround. And in this turnaround, you can make only the comprehensive maintenance. So the whole plant is shut down, and then you start with the execution of the services of repair, of modification, and of projects. What is the size of this turnaround? It is a widespread. You see here 1,000 engineers, technicians, execution people. It can be also 3,000. If you go into a refinery, huge refinery in Germany is, for example, Total Refinery, there are 3,000 people on site in addition to the own staff and to the daily business staff. And we, as Bilfinger, we are the only one company who can deliver this 1,000 people. Why is this widespread? If you go into chemical industry, chemical plants are more complex. refineries, on the opposite, are huge, but not so complex. So that makes the difference, and therefore you need also different qualification, and you have different requirements. We can deliver all services, all mechanical services, all E&I services. We can deliver scaffolding, we can deliver insulation, and we coordinate and we plan also the subcontractors. So we can deliver the full service package for our customers. And these turnarounds come across every 3 to 5 years. It's also depending from the plant. In refinery, 5 years, and in chemical plants, most of the time in 3 years. What are the driver for these turnarounds? The driver are law requirements, the driver is the production, and the driver are also debottlenecking, expansion of plants, so own requests from the customers. What are the trends in this business? The trends in this business, on the first priority, is quality and safety. And quality and safety is very strong connected. If you don't deliver quality work, for example, you have a leak, then you have a safety issue. If in the startup phase, some of the acids, some of products coming out. And mainly in Europe, all the plants are going older and older. And you saw in the presentation of Tom, we are talking about 16,000 plants. And these 16,000 plants need maintenance and repair. In addition, on our customer sides, they reduce the staff year by year, and so they need a very good supplier who can cover all the requests which you have in a turnaround. And in that sense, also bundled services are more requested, are more demanded. Bundled services means for an area, for a whole plant, the supplier takes over the responsibility for planning, for execution, and at the end also for startup and quality and safety. And good for us, competition rather decreasing. Mainly the competition for these huge turnarounds. There are not so lot companies, they have this huge network as Bilfinger. In our division, we have 15,000 people. In MMO, we have 22,000 people. So you can imagine we can mobilize a lot of these people. And we work, for example, currently on one of these turnarounds in Austria, in the metallurgical plant, with 5 legal entities of Bilfinger. What is our position? I mentioned it, we have own capacities, and that is a very, very good argument, and this argument is a USP from our point of view. We can cover the full scope from planning, from coordination, execution, to analytics and documentation. And we can prove it. We have examples, we have satisfied customers, and we do it more or less daily. We have certain turnaround departments, and one was mentioned before. This is the FAM company in Austria. We are talking here about 700 to 800 people, and they are only dedicated to turnaround and projects. The advantage for the customer is one face to the customer, so the interfaces are very low. We take the responsibility. He has only one way to communicate. And of course, at the end, it is a very nice business if we look at our bottom line. That's at the end very important. With which customer we are doing this? Here you see this who is who. This is only a few examples on the left-hand side. Unipetrol is a Polish company, is one of the biggest energy producer in Europe. Unipetrol is in Czech Republic, belongs to BKN Orlen. This turnaround, or the demand in this turnaround is, for example, for refinery and petrochemical park, 3,000 people. And 2 years ago, we delivered the 3,000 people, and now we come in the next stage. For the next turnaround, we start the planning. Yara is the biggest fertilizer producer in the world. Borealis is the second biggest, and Borealis is one of the biggest polyolefin producer in the world. And for Borealis, for example, we are covering 5 sites on maintenance, and now we are discussing how we can deliver a sort of group like a circus is going around the sites to deliver turnaround planning and at the end execution. Other customers, Total, now we are negotiating for a turnaround 2021. We are speaking about 600 people. We are speaking about projects, and now we go in a sort of partnership agreement that we confirm that we can deliver in 2021. About how many turnarounds do we talk about? Next year, we know 40 huge turnarounds in Europe. The year after, 2020, we're talking about 40 plus the smaller turnarounds. And in 21, we see also a lot of turnarounds in the business. So what is the conclusion? We are the #1 in a very huge market, currently in an increasing market, and we deliver added value for our customer with our huge network, and our business is very stable, reliable, and predictable. Thank you.